Just before sunrise in Inverness, Florida in the US, a teenage boy dials 911. His voice is tense, controlled, but strained. He says his mother has been attacked in her bed. He says there's blood everywhere. He says someone must have broken into the house. When deputies arrive, the neighborhood is still quiet, the front door is closed, the windows are intact. Inside the bedroom, they find Denise Hallowell passed away. And almost immediately, investigators notice something unsettling. The house doesn't feel chaotic, it feels contained. Denise Hallowell was a school teacher. People who knew her described someone strict, structured, and deeply committed to rules, both in the classroom and at home. Years earlier, she had adopted 2 boys from Central America, Carlos Hallowell from Guatemala and Angel Hallowell from Honduras. From the outside, it looked like a woman trying to give 2 children stability and opportunity. Inside the house, things were much harder. Rules were rigid. Arguments were frequent. Tension wasn't occasional, it was constant. In 2015, everything changed. Angel, then around 12 years old, ran away from home. When deputies found him and returned him to the house, what they reported shocked them. They said Angel had been kept in a small, confined space. The door was locked, the windows were blocked. He had limited access to basic necessities. Denise later claimed that the confinement was a way to control what she described as severe behavioural issues, but authorities rejected that explanation and removed Angel from the home anyway. The situation was serious enough that Denise was arrested on child abuse charges. Angel was removed from the home immediately and placed into state care. From that moment on, he would never live in that house ever again. Eventually, the child abuse case against Denise was dropped. The state attorney's office said there wasn't enough evidence to proceed. Legally, Denise was cleared, but the damage inside the family was permanent. Angel remained in care. He did not return home. Denise and Carlos continued living together alone in the house, a household that had already lost 1 child. As Carlos got older, problems escalated. Reporting later described struggles with alcohol and drugs and growing resentment towards Denise's control. Arguments became more frequent, they became more intense. In the months leading up to her death, one conflict kept resurfacing: Carlos's future, specifically college, expectations, control over his life. On the surface, it sounded like a normal parent-teen argument. In the house, though, it landed on years of pressure. This is where the story truly darkens. According to reporting, Carlos waited until his mother was asleep. Evidence suggests that he then went outside to a shed and sharpened an axe. This was not a sudden outburst. This was not a spur-of-the-moment snap. This was preparation. This was deliberate. By morning, Carlos is on the phone with 911. He claims an intruder attacked his mother, but the house tells a very different story. No forced entry, no broken windows, no clear way in or out. Outside, near the shed, deputies find the axe. And slowly, the someone else explanation just collapses. Investigators didn't rely on one single clue. They stacked evidence, the phone data, the timeline inconsistencies, behaviour that didn't match panic or shock. Eventually, Carlos admitted what he had done. He said he couldn't fully explain why, only that he did it. In 2021, Carlos Hallowell was convicted of premeditated first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. Because he was 17 at the time, the law allows for a future sentence review, but that's decades later. Denise is gone. Carlos is incarcerated, and Angel, the younger brother, had already been removed from the house 4 years before the murder, growing up elsewhere, carrying a different version of the same family story. Because sometimes the ending isn't the most disturbing part. Sometimes it's realizing the story had already been breaking long before anyone was listening. Until next time.